Now, this, I think Josh was probably more excited for.
Yeah.
I also appreciate that more and more directors are just kind of aware. Like, more and more directors are coming from the geeky sphere, so they understand how geeks and nerds that prey on every single detail, like us, think. And so David F. Sandberg is definitely one of those people, the director of the first Shazam and the director of Shazam Fury of the Gods. So he knew that this movie would be shooting outside and there'd be paparazzi pictures. That's why we got that tease of the new Shazam suit from him. Now, clearly we're going to be shooting with the rest of the Shazamily sometime soon in the outdoors, because he's released this official look of what everyone will look like in their new suits in a much more controlled, better environment than some crappy cell phone from 100 yards away. He releases this official look of what the Shazamily will look like, and bro, we talked about it before with Shazam's individual suit, but we didn't have an issue with the original one. I thought it was fine. Even if it did look a little padded, I understood it, and it looked fine. These look awesome. And again, maybe it's just me, they look a lot, to me at least, like Man of Steel type suits in terms of like the texturing and the color. Feels much more Man of Steel-ish than Shazam, which was, I don't know how to properly describe it, but not this. The suits look great, and both Zachary Snyder. Wow, I'm getting my names all mixed up today. We're just on a roll today. Zachary Levi and David F. Sandberg, that's probably where I'm getting mixed up from. Both of them have said, despite what this picture may look like, these suits are not this muted in the movie. It's just the lighting that we currently took for this picture. So I'm going, oh, okay, cool. Because, the one in the green, I forget what his name is.
Yeah.
He looks significantly darker in terms of his suit color, but he still looks fine. Minus the aesthetics of the suit, there's a huge change, but one that I'm massively in favor of. Josh, do you notice anything different this time around?
Hey, looks like one of the actors is different.
Not different, it's the same.
Way.
Josh, there are people that only listen to the audio of this. Let's describe to them what we're watching.
Oh yeah, I forget. No, because like one of the oh geez,
Mary.
Yeah, she is old enough to play her like actual Shazam self now. So
Yes.
they're just kind of like put her in there.
You in favor of that, or you kind of like the
Yeah.
adult version of Shazam?
No, yeah, why not? Let's go.
What do you think
Like
of the
I
suits?
have no issue with any of this. Like the suits are so cool. Your comment as far as them looking a little different, like more like Man of Steel. This might be a little jaded, but it almost seems like they were allowed to put more money into the design this time. You know what I mean? It almost feels like, and that's not to say, what I'm not saying is that the other Shazam suit looked cheap. Because
it was the exact opposite.
Yes,
That
it
was
looked
a
cool.
expensive suit.
Oh, absolutely. But these suits look like they've actually, like, a lot of effort has been put into them to make them look a certain way for a certain reason. Almost like we're going to treat Shazam as a not red-haired stepchild. Shazam's going to be a part of the universe now.
A part of our world.
Part of our world. To quote the Black Adam at this point, I guess is what we call him, the power structure of the DC universe is going to change. And Shazam's going to be a part of it.
He will not be a part of this movie. I'm still sticking to my guns on this one that, if anything, he'll be in an end credits, but that's it. I don't even think it'll be that much, because he might be in Shazam 3? I don't know. But eventually we have to have Black Adam versus Shazam, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get Black Adam versus Superman first. That seems to be the matchup that Henry Cavill, sure, Henry Cavill's interested in that, but The Rock is much more interested in.
Yeah.
But you're right. This probably does have a bigger budget this time around because the first one really didn't. I thought it had a
Yeah.
budget of like 60 or 70 million, which people are expecting that to be a lot, but for a superhero movie, that's really isn't a lot. Now, Shazam, the first one, didn't make a ton at the box office. It made a profit, but didn't light the world on fire, but I still think it was a very, very important movie for DC in terms of changing perception of the brand, getting it away from the Snyder image, which, if you like that, that's awesome. But those movies really were not for everyone. They didn't have mass appeal. They've got their diehards, which is awesome if you're one of them. I am not one of them, but I think Shazam catered to a much broader audience and had much better reception from the general audience, that it started to change the trend. Combine this and Wonder Woman, started to have people go, oh, there are a couple diamonds in the rough here, and say what people will about Aquaman, it's still my favorite DCEU movie by far, just because it feels the most outlandish and comic booky. It knows exactly what it is, but Shazam's a very close second. I think those movies were instrumental in turning the tide and perception of, oh, there is a light at the end of this dark tunnel that is somebody else. I don't want to point the finger because that's too mean, but I do tend to point the finger at this individual a lot. Let's get away from that before I get yelled at by angry fans. I'm happy to see this get a sequel. I think this will be awesome. I love David F. Sandberg, both as a filmmaker and just as a dude. He just seems awesome. I love his story of basically being a dude that started on YouTube and is now making superhero movies. I think that's super, super cool. Also, you gotta love your horror directors turn big time guys. Him and James Wan. I think that's always love to see that happen. On a scale of 1 to 10, Josh, before we wrap this news topic up, how amped would you say you are for Shazam Fury of the Gods?
About a 7, I think. So I'm pretty amped. I'm still like wary just because we haven't got a trailer yet.
Well, it's not coming until 2023, so.
Yeah, exactly. So like I'm keeping that a steady 7. I think once that trailer comes out, I think that'll change. So there's time, but I'm always down. Especially with the performance of the first one, I'm down to see where we go with it.
So, off the top of your head, top 3 most anticipated future DC projects, like any that are down in the pipe.
The Batman, being number 1.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, I figured anybody that listens to the podcast, that's a given. Kind of excited for Aquaman 2.
Same, but just with some hesitancy because of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain herd that I don't care for.
We want to see it, but we don't want to herd it.
And I want Static Shock so bad. I can't like, I know it's not
it's
like,
happening.
Quote, unquote, it's happening, but it's like not like confirmed. You know how this world is. People are like, yeah,
no,
we're making
I'm sure
this
I
movie.
don't know how this world is, Nightwing movie.
Yeah, so I just hope it doesn't get stuck in development hell. So, but yeah, those are probably the 3. So, Batman, Aquaman 2, and Static Shock.